Every day is like my birthday, I'm mad gifted. Get your flame blown out if that's just my wishes. Shy vicious, you just a little fierce. Have Brody put the metal to your ears like he trying to pierce. I'm different, far from your average alley cat. The top dog, Princess Staten, you know where I be at.
Now I must admit that I can't live with this evil eye. Would rather use my third eye to try and beat you live. It's what I get when it's time to flip to the evil die. It's what they did, but you dead after they eat you now. I must admit that I can't live with this evil eye. Would rather use my third eye to try and beat you live. It's what I get when it's time to flip to the evil die. It's what they did, but you dead after they eat you.
Come get some. All right. Come get some. Come get some. Get some. Come get some. Come get some. Come get some. Come get some.
All right, you primitive screwheads, come get some. This is my review of Evil Dead the game in its first phase, its first like month or so, and I wanted to talk about this game and elaborate my thoughts on it after playing 90 or so hours. I think 90 plus, maybe 100, but it has been a lot of time put into this game. This game was developed by Saber Interactive and published by Boss Team Games. The premise of Evil Dead is very simple. Ash and his friends are in trouble. They are in dire need of help. After reading pages of the Necronomicon, which is the Book of the Dead, they unleash hell on Earth as demons plague the woods. With no way to return back to normal civilization, they have to extinguish the demon and understand how the Necronomicon is the way it is, and understanding the pages and trying to revert that evil back in some way, whether by destroying the book or once again having the demons contained in this said book yet again, so the evil does not come out and spread. Evil Dead was a monolith of horror cinema. A lot of people really enjoyed this movie. If you think about horror nowadays, there's no way that stuff like Evil Dead won't come into the picture when we talk about classic horror franchises. Sam Raimi and his creative yet elaborate camera work and the dread, the creeping tension of that movie goes unprecedented. Once again, Bruce Campbell shines as the charismatic yet stoic Ashley J. Williams, and just because he retired from the role does not mean that we don't get to hear his manly chainsaw voice with his chin that could cut someone's head off in this particular title. This game is certainly an interesting amalgamation of gameplay styles, and of course, if you think about styles that were taken from Dead by Daylight, Resident Evil Resistance, and of course Friday the 13th, then you would get a lot of similarities related to this game. It's like those games walked into a complete orgy, and therefore this demon seed was produced. Evil Dead is an asymmetrical horror title where 4 survivors and 1 mastermind, once again, like I said, akin to Resident Evil Resistance, 1 mastermind goes into the woods, and therefore a free-for-all takes place as the mastermind tries to kill the enemy teammates, and the survivors try to do their best to summon the pages of the Necronomicon to expel the evil back to where it fucking came from. Now, of course, I'm going to talk about the survivors first. The survivors are various people, like, you know, you play as different forms of Ashley J. Williams. You also play as his friends and other characters you probably seen in like maybe Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2, and of course Ash vs. Evil Dead, which I think was the canceled Star show that got to like 3 seasons and then they just completely canned it because fuck you Stars. Anyway, my little rant over there. Anyway, this game has those characters featured in the Evil Dead universe, and they have various abilities and styles. For example, I play as Ash, so I am sort of like the guy that tries to do a lot of damage, a lot of DPS to the enemies. And I also play as Cheryl Williams, which is Ash's sister, and she's like a healer of the team. She goes around and she gets shimps, and she can drink shimps and actually increase the player's health as she's at like a certain style, and help the other survivors by putting down like this green sort of arcane circle, and everyone can heal in in that circle at the same time, which is effectively helping the team. So you go around and you find weapons, and then you gather pages of the map. Once you get like 3 pages of the map, it goes into another phase where you have to get a page for the Kandarian demon Necronomicon, the Book of the Dead, and then you have to also get the dagger. Once you get these 2 items, which is like a sort of domination type fight where you're trying to stand on the point and you have to battle the demons away, once you complete that objective, then it moves on to the next phase, which is the final one. You have to extinguish the dark ones, and it kind of looks like some fucking Ghostbusters proton laser being fired at the dark ones. You don't cross the streams, man, but there's 4 streams being crossed already in this section, so what the fuck. Anyway, as you continue on and vanquish the dark ones, quote unquote, then you go into the final phase, which is another domination style game, and this is where things get really intense, because if a player dies here, then they are dead for good. You are tasked to protect the Necronomicon at all costs so you can extinguish the demons and be done with it for good. But once again, your player will die. If you die here for good, you cannot be revived. If the demons destroy the book, then all hope is lost and you lost the game. If the demons don't destroy the book, then the book expels all the demons in the area, therefore the survivors will pick up the victory. As with any asymmetrical horror experience, coordination is very key here, and the main thing to success is going around and finding crates that will upgrade your characters. There is something in this game called Pink F, and Pink F is basically like Pepto-Bismol, and you take your Pepto-Bismol to basically upgrade your characters to certain levels. So you might upgrade your health, or you might upgrade your shields. Shields are used in the game when you have amulets, where if you get hit, you take less damage. You have to buff your character up all the way and be resilient at the end of the game. Having a healer really helps as well, so when the demon finally does that final scourge, make sure you're all healed up and you have a lot of items and shimps and colas to stop the demon threat from killing you right there on the spot. You have to be prepared. You have to definitely loot. The game's almost like 30 minutes long each time you are in a match, so you have enough time to go around and try to scavenge in this open world as much as possible. It is not perfect with the gameplay styles, of course. I think they could have desperately used the jump button, because one of the problems I have is getting stuck on geometry in this open world environment, and the driving obviously is not that good as well, so you're going to be getting stuck on trees. Try to stick to the main roads if possible with the survivors, because there are cars in the game where you can drive to a certain location pretty fast. There is a lot of good perks as well. I would recommend playing as Cheryl if you are that healer type character, because she also has an upgrade where she can see the map pieces out at a far distance, and that is very helpful. That has been so helpful to me last night as well. And you want to also have your damage characters that can do a lot of damage to the demon as much as possible, because once the demon starts upgrading as he goes along, you'll see it at the bottom. He starts from level 1 and then he upgrades more and more with the tactics that he uses. One of the main mechanics that the demon likes to use to be a dick is the fear mechanic, and this affects all survivors. So if you're roaming around for an allotted period of time, you will see a purple health bar raise up all the way slowly but surely. It will go up even more if you are attacked by the Kandarian demon, if you are scared, quote unquote, because you can be scared in this game, jump scared, etc., and that will affect your fear bar. Once your fear starts flashing, then that means that the Kandarian demon will be open to possessing your body, and once they possess your body, some nasty stuff really starts to happen. I'm talking about the enemy player character going out into the woods and wasting your ammo, shooting your teammates, trying to kill the fuckers, and trying to kill the fuckers. I'm leaving that in. Well, once the demon tries to kill the fuckers, does everything to sabotage the operation, even runs away from the objective, it means bad business when people go into encounters and they have high fear because they could endanger the other teammates. It's one of those very risky mechanics that keeps the gameplay kind of fresh, but is very annoying overall depending on the character you play. And I play as Army of Darkness Ash, where it seems like his fear goes blows up all the fucking time. Playing as the Kandarian demon is a pretty simple objective. You are out to thwart the players, set traps, and kill them. You will be tasked to either pick between Henrietta and her ugly hide as she spawns and tries to give the player characters the option to suck her titties and drain their health. Then you will play as the puppeteers from Ash vs Evil Dead, which has like these electricity naked beings walking around and being all blue and nude, and it's just very weird. It's like a Smurf Pornhub advertisement. I don't know where I was going with that one, but there's also there's also playing as evil Ash from Army of Darkness, where Ash sort of gets his face blown off by a shotgun, and then there's the line, good, bad, I'm the guy with the gun. And therefore evil Ash is born from the remnants of that, and he turns into pretty much a diabolical captain trying to kill the main Ash in that timeline. And so there's differing playstyles for those characters. Different types of enemies and traps will spawn. Evil Ash can also spawn a flute playing skeleton that will increase the damage of all the demons nearby, and therefore the survivors have to go out and destroy him. You have to keep all this stuff in mind while you level up and get orbs around the area. These orbs will lead to you leveling up even more, as well as attacking the players and being successful with putting traps into boxes so they can sort of try to open them, and then they will be greeted with a hand that will come out, burst out, and put their fear up. Getting the high fear and getting them downed or getting them killed is the objective of this game. And honestly, it can be quite fun and also a little bit broken, because I remember playing as the puppeteer. I spawned the blue naked Smurf boss character after leveling up my demon. I managed to also put his boss level or his boss bars with health and damage all the way at max. Once the players got to the end, I completely destroyed them by shooting out electric bursts from my hands. They couldn't do anything. They were constantly stun locked, and I killed 3 people in the process. Only 1 survivor left in the woods. What am I going to do? I'm going to chase him down, put his fear up, get some enemies out there, spawn portals upon portals upon portals until he is finally dead. And that's exactly what I did, baby. No problems whatsoever. There's going to be balancing complaints that usually will pop into fruition with games of this magnitude. There will be people thinking that the survivors are way too overpowered and they eliminate the demons way too quickly. Then there will be the other side of the spectrum where people think that the demons are way too broken. Please nerf, for the love of God. We're getting electrified. We're getting our fucking buns fried off here, like electricity buns gone into the atmosphere. Please nerf the demons, and it's going to be sort of this aggressive back and forth over and over again with the meta. Honestly, Evil Dead is a fun game, but it does have problems. It can be just a bit buggy. It can also have a lot of issues if you're just starting out the game. This is a skill-based game for the most part from what I see. So if you're level 1 casual trying to get into a game like this, you're going to have to sit down, take your losses, and understand how the game works is to level up your characters. And a lot of people might not like that playstyle between demon and survivor, and I think that the XP points between matches feels like a very slow progression, because of course you have to win these matches in order to get these points, and every time you lose it's like a very, very slow burn. And some people don't have the patience for stuff of this magnitude. This is something where you have to stick in and commit. Therefore, a lot of newcomers may not like that, and some people may also be just fine with the grinding aspect of that equation. I would say more or less I played worse asymmetrical games, so therefore it is easy to pick up and play, and therefore it's easy to get into how things work and operate. And if a bad player is a bad player, it will be definitely conveyed between demon or survivor. Like I said, survivors all about coordination. The demon, all about racking up those points and understanding where everyone will spawn on the map if you're very, very close to them. If you're far, by the way, you don't get that instant sort of beacon on the map when the player is running around. You have to go out and find them, but the camera is like super fast, just like that Evil Dead zoom camera, like super fast when you're going after people. It's a little bit wobbly and not perfect as well. I found like a big problem with that. Like I sort of got a little tunnel vision while doing that, and it felt sort of weird in the process, but you get used to it over time. I thought both were very fun to play with. I thought this was a very engaging game, but like I said, once again, the legs of this game is going to depend on if the developers really care to flesh out all the problems, the bugs, add new things, add new content. They seem to be doing that. They seem to be doing balance patches right now, and a lot of people are kind of a little bit upset that the healers got nerfed, which I can also totally understand. They're just trying to find that perfect synergy, and I think going forward that perfect synergy is going to dictate if the game is going to be very great in the long run or going to be dropped. But I will say that this game has crossplay, therefore you can play with your friends either on Epic, Xbox, or PlayStation, and that was just a nice little gesture to keep the multiplayer experience alive, which I appreciate. Good job from Saber Interactive. Once again, my final verdict on Evil Dead the game. Is it worth picking up? I would say probably wait for a sale, because in my opinion this game is going to cater to people who really are diehard into the online asymmetrical experience. This game will not cater to you if you're looking for single player exclusive content. There is single player missions, but there's nothing story based in that department, so you're mostly playing this for the online sort of nature, so to speak. You're not going to be playing this for single player only content. You're going to be playing with friends trying to get the Kandarian demon expelled, or you're going to be playing as a demon and being a dick about it. One of the things that this game excels at is atmosphere, tone, you know, everything ran fine so far. Performance, even on the PS4, was not terrible. When there's like 30 demons spawned in, the frame rate kept pretty consistent. Like I said, the meta of this game is going to basically live and die on how they decide to patch it going forward and listening to fan feedback. That's going to be the main objective, but I would not recommend this game if you are heavily into the single player experience. There is single player missions, not single player story. There is no story in this game to behold. You're just playing through Evil Dead missions and going through the lore and getting still images each and every single time. As for the multiplayer itself, it's definitely fun in core nature. It's a lot of fun to be had in this particular title, and I definitely would recommend checking it out sometime down the line, or just going in and testing it out for yourself as a big Evil Dead fan. However, that being said, currently it could be better, and hopefully it will be better once they start rolling out those season pass updates for the players. I recommend this game only for hardcore asymmetrical fans or hardcore Evil Dead fans. Otherwise, wait for a sale for this baby. My name is Renegade Operative, and hopefully you guys really enjoyed this almost 17-minute review of Evil Dead the game. I'm going to be wrapping up, signing out. You can follow my social medias below, join my discords. I have a survival horror discord, a variety geek culture discord, all the works down below. If you really like this review, please slap a like on the video and tell me in the comments, how do you feel about Evil Dead the game? Is it really worth it? Are you enjoying playing it? Who is your favorite character? What's your favorite build to sort of go through and get the Kandarian demon all fucked up? Tell me in the comment section below, and I will see you guys next time. Peace, later, and be good people. Take care.